Yeah.
Hey yo, man, it's your time. Man, fuck poverty. Get this money, man. What the fuck you gotta do, you know what I'm saying?
I can tell you're mad at me just by how your face.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil.
And I'm Leroy. So, on our viral video of the week, we got New York Governor Kathy Hochul is facing backlash for saying that black children in the Bronx don't know the word computer. Here's the clip.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges.
That's a Democrat, ladies and gentlemen. You know, our blacks, we love our Democrats. When I listened to this, the first thing I heard is the "Here's what they think about you, Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted" skit. If this was that lady, the conspiracy lady, I don't know her name. If that was her, the flat earther lady, if she said the same thing, they'd have been talking about this on the news for like 3 weeks straight. But since she's a Democrat and that's our people, they didn't even mention anything about it. So shout out to all y'all blacks that want to be electric sliding and dancing and vote straight down Democrat when it's time to vote, because like Ice Cube said, here's what they think about you.
Do you vote straight down Republican?
No, I don't vote straight down anything.
Okay, I'm just saying.
The last we talked about it. I don't even think we even talked about it. The last president election was during a pandemic. I didn't vote for the president stuff. I only voted for like the local elections. I left everything else blank.
You talking about Biden or Trump?
Yeah, that was the Biden or Trump. I left it blank, and I just voted for the our local people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was about to turn around and go home because this was during the pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. So it was a long line. I said, well, look, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go early in the morning. I came out there and the line was like outside the school to on the street. So I said, well, look, I'm gonna give it a little bit of time. If this line don't shorten up, I'm leaving. So I get close. Somebody runs out and say, hey, everybody who has a last names from A to J, come out in front.
Oh shit, one of these motherfuckers.
Yep. And then everybody was like, the person that was sitting way in the back was like, oh shit, that's me, and ran up to the front. And I said, but what about the people that were standing in line? I said it loud so the guy can hear me. So of course he didn't say anything.
So let me get this straight. Everybody was moving in just randomly in the order of a line, and then somebody else came out and regulated and switched it up to alphabetical order.
Yes.
Oh shit, no, that'd have been some fighting going on out there. I'd probably left.
I was like, all right, so where everybody that was sitting there waiting in line? And my man just kept doing what he was doing. I said it loud just so he can hear me too. And and I was like, you know what? I'm about to turn around and go back. But the line started shortening up, and I had got in there.
Probably had some peoples in the back, so he wanted to get them in the front first.
Yep. Everybody was like, oh shit. And it's like, now I'm in the schoolyard about to go into the door. The person was like, oh shit, that's me. They were out on the street when I was standing there.
I'd have been like, yeah, that alphabet shit start right behind me. That's where it started.
And no, I left the Joe Biden and Donald Trump stuff blank, and I just voted for like the local stuff. Yeah. So, anything you want to add more on this lady, or?
No, she's an idiot, but they say what they want to say and how they feel. She just feel black kids are stupid, and she just didn't want to say that.
Right.
But she pretty much did anyway.
Right. And then somebody was talking about it's out of context because she was talking about, the education level amongst black kids, amongst the white. Well,
if that's what she said.
Right. If that's the case, she's the governor. She can easily go to the New York school district, the Bronx school district, I don't know how it's broken up there, and sit down and talk to somebody about how can we make the education system better.
She don't care about that shit.
Right. Well, we going to South Fulton, Georgia, where new father Curtis Jack told police he put antifreeze in his newborn daughter's milk because he didn't want to pay child support. Here's the report.
Rather go to jail for fucking life for 50 years or something than fucking goddamn idiot.
Welcome back. New developments in the case of a father convicted of trying to murder his newborn daughter. He told police he put antifreeze in the child's milk because he did not want to pay child support. A judge sentenced that father to 50 years in prison. Judge Taisha Fernandez is live in South Fulton, where she spoke to the lead detective in this case exclusively today. Taisha, this was a tough.
And he played right into her hands too.
Let me ask you something. When these guys go to jail, do the child support still build or what?
Well,
it probably can't, because then as soon as you get out, you owe so much, and if you can't pay, the penalty is going to jail. Well, shit, you just did time in jail for that. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, here's the other question. Do they go after if he been at a job for a while, his pension or his Social Security?
See, you talking about an old head. Usually somebody younger that ain't made it that far.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that'll even come into play.
But he didn't play it in her hands. Now she got full control of that damn child, and his family. They ain't gonna see the kid.
Right.
So I don't know what in the hell was he thinking about. Now she got full control of that kid, and who knows whatever man that's gonna come into her life that's gonna be around that child. So I would have just grin and bared it. And he looked up in age too. He's probably looked like he's in his mid-30s or whatever. You got the girl pregnant, you might as well just go on and let her rock with it.
Case for investigators, and I know for you as well to cover today.
Taisha Fernandez. That's like two ethnicities in one name.
It was tough for everybody. Many of the investigators, Karen, are parents themselves. I'm a parent myself, so everyone has just been disgusted by this father's actions, especially because he appeared to have some remorse, confessed to police, but then took it back. Today, I had the privilege to talk to the child's mother. She's not ready to talk about the conviction just yet, but she did tell me the child is doing okay.
It hit home because it was an 18-day-old baby.
South Fulton Police Sergeant Serta Dickerson was the lead detective on this attempted murder case back in 2020. He said seeing this newborn poisoned by antifreeze was tough.
With our job, we have to really tap into two different places. We have to do our job. We also have to be empathetic with the parent. So it kind of hit home based off of us trying to figure out who done it and what the motives were.
It all started when Curtis Jack got his coworker pregnant. She told.
See, how old do you think this guy is?
About 40.
Okay.
42, somewhere around there.
Right. I'm like, well, okay, if you got the girl pregnant, you might as well go and let her keep her. You 42. He say he didn't want that kid and want to try to put antifreeze in the baby's milk, as if like the medical examiner is not going to.
Toxicologists ain't going to find that shit.
Right.
Police. Curtis tried to get her to terminate the pregnancy for the entire 9 months. Once she had the baby, she had to stay in the hospital. So she told the father to come pick up breast milk from her and take it to the baby at the grandmother's house. Curtis told police he put antifreeze in the milk because he didn't want to pay child support.
That could have killed that child.
Yes.
It didn't. But once Curtis was indicted and faced several charges, including attempted murder, he took back his confession. So detectives and the DA's office had to work even harder.
I see you, Taisha, there. Taisha Fernandez. I see something might be going on there.
Right where that little arrow at.
Sure, the case was solid and they got a conviction.
It's beyond just getting a confession. We still have to prove that the person actually committed the crime. I mean, you still have to prove that the person is guilty.
Detectives were so confused by the motive in this case because they said the father had a good paying job and the mother does too. I also want to mention
That ain't the point. The point is he didn't want to have a kid. It don't matter what his
how they keep the job out of the story.
They worked at the same job together.
Yeah, but they didn't mention the job. Usually they mention it when people work, don't they?
Right.
That's what I said. How the job keep their information out like that?
This police say Curtis Jack was engaged to another woman at the time all this was happening. So
Did you just hear the reporter in the studio laugh?
Mm-mm.
So that may have had a good...
You still have to prove
Well,
that the
listen.
person is guilty.
Detectives were so confused by the motive in this case because they said the father had a good paying job and the mother does too. I also want to mention this. Police say Curtis Jack was engaged to another woman at the time all this was happening, so that
was
may
you.
have played a role.
That's her. That wasn't me.
That was you.
No, it wasn't. That was
That
her.
sounds just like you. And that's why
Nope.
I thought when I heard it, I thought it was you.
Nope, that was her. Shout out to her using her. She supposed to not be using her feelings in the story, but
Who
she
was
sure
that?
did on that one. The studio reporter, the
I didn't
lady.
s- Oh, not this one right here.
No,
It sounded like you.
no, that wasn't me.
Role in this attempted murder. We're live in the city of South Fulton. Taisha Fernandez, Channel 2 Action News.
So he was fooling around with somebody on a job, and he was engaged to another woman, and got the girl he was fooling around on the job pregnant.
Yeah, they both probably worked. He probably worked somewhere with a whole bunch of women.
Mm-hmm.
He having a field day.
Yep. Well, we going to Memphis, Tennessee, where 23-year-old former corrections officer Akira Jones is accused of having sex with an inmate. This is with our same subject when we talked about the Unlocked story about how they got these women is around these men in jail. I don't get it. It's confusing to me. But listen to this report.
Well, now, a former
Ladies and gentlemen, some of the stuff that I looked at and some of the stuff I didn't. But I looked at this one.
Shelby County Corrections deputy was terminated earlier this year after investigators began looking into allegations she had sexual contact with a prisoner. The accused, Akira Jones, was back in court.
Now, she's a 20-year-old corrections officer around these men, these grown men who sits around and do nothing all day but ain't got a whole bunch of game.
Why would they even hire a 20-year-old in that position?
Exactly. It's like you setting her up to do something with these men.
This morning, the judge telling the 20-year-old she must hire an attorney by her next court date. Here's WREG's Dorita Patterson with more from today's bond arraignment.
Outside the Criminal Justice Center, the drizzling rain hitting the ground created waves. Meanwhile, there was a wave of concern following an alleged felonious act that resulted in a woman being terminated earlier this year from her job as a corrections deputy. In a statement from the Shelby County Sheriff's Department, December 20th of 2023, the department was made aware of allegations a corrections deputy was having sex with an inmate. A criminal investigation.
Look at her damn corrections photo, her employment photo.
God damn, look at them eyebrows.
Right. If I was in charge, I'd be like, no. I would have told her to take all that stuff off, or you just not going to have a job.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have hired her with all that shit because she probably worded to the interview like that.
True.
I said, all right, I'm gonna look over your interview and we'll give you a call.
Yep.
And then I sent her a letter. Unfortunately, we found somebody else for the position. We'll keep you in mind the next time I open and hire and throw that joint right in the trash.
If you got all this stuff on a job, you're not taking it serious. And if that was my daughter, I mean, I couldn't tell her what to do because she grown. But I'd be like, but I would just find that weird that you want to work in a prison with men like that.
Because when it's not too many females there, so all of the guys there, they've been in jail, working on a game. They know how to talk to women.
Yeah.
So an average girl, that make her feel like she a supermodel. Everybody kicking game to her, so her self-esteem and her confidence and everything feel real good. Because every time she go to work, all she getting is praise from these guys. Bums at that.
Yep. And she's 20 years old, so she probably just either still living with her mom or just got on her own and everything and don't know nothing about nothing. And like you said, and here these dudes do that all day except learn game and talking shit to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Investigation was launched, leading detectives, they say, to Corrections Deputy Akira Jones, seen here in her employee photo. Unfortunately, after being indicted and charged, she now has a mugshot that brings us to where we are today.
State of Tennessee versus Akira Jones. That's for bond arraignment, first setting out of custody.
The 20-year-old who's out on bond was back in court Tuesday facing Judge Jennifer Fitzgerald.
Good morning, Miss Jones.
And see, her face isn't bad here.
Yeah, she don't need all that shit on.
Exactly.
You've been indicted in a one-count indictment for sexual contact with prisoners, Class E felony.
Jones is also facing the possibility she could end up in a detention center, much like the one where she once worked, if she's found guilty. The judge wanting to know if Jones has retained a lawyer.
Do you have an attorney?
The simple answer from Jones, she's still working on hiring one.
She don't have the money.
You better get the court-appointed lawyer, the little phony bull.
Right.
I mean, you know when they do, because they're going to work a deal anyway and send your ass down on a fucking river. But shit, I guess he's better than nothing. She's probably not going to do no jail time or go to a detention, but she'll be fired, you know what I mean? And she won't be able to get no type of government job or nothing.
Right.
Court giving a little more than a month to obtain defending counsel.
And how embarrassing, because all the people on her job is going to Google her name and all this shit going to pop up.
Mm-hmm. Well, anytime she try to get a job, she's gonna get flagged.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you what happened. She was breaking my man off, and the lookout was like, "Yo, my turn," and she probably was like, "Hell no!" I'm telling you, that motherfucker turn around and snitch.
Counsel. Judge Fitzgerald telling Jones if convicted of the Class C felony, she could spend the next 1 to 6 years in lockup, and
she ain't spending that much time in no damn jail.
Would be required to pay a $3,000 fine. The 20-year-old has been ordered back to court May 6th, along with her attorney will be there as well. Reporting inside the CJC, Jarita Patterson, WREG, News Channel 3.
I say the fine, fine plus the court calls, and she'll get like I say probably
community
like 3
service
years.
And probation.
I say about 3 years of probation. Yeah, she ain't going to no 1 to 6 years for that.
Exactly.
I mean, she was stupid, but that ain't worth for her going to jail for. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Trying to scare her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we going to Minneapolis, Minnesota, when Sylvia Jackson, who loaned her car to George Floyd in 2001 Mercedes SUV on May the 25th, 2020, when he was killed. That was the day he was killed. Well, she's still waiting to get her damn car back from the investigators 4 years after the fact. So here's the report.
Tonight, one woman with a unique connection to the life and death of George Floyd says she's struggling to move on. That's because Floyd was borrowing her car the day he was killed by Minneapolis.
So he was knocking her off, right?
Probably. He probably don't even got a driver's license.
Uh-huh.
And you giving him your car.
Yep.
Police. Nearly 4 years later, investigators still haven't returned it. Now that woman is sharing her story only with investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen.
Well, Sylvia Jackson says contacting us was a last resort. She's been asking authorities about her car for the last 4 years, but she's only getting answers tonight after we started asking questions.
Y'all getting it back.
These days, Sylvia Jackson depends on the generosity of friends for a place to stay and use of a truck to get her 3 daughters to school.
Sure is doing a lot of begging. You got 3 kids and you loaning your car out? Come on now.
Yep. And got 3 kids and don't have a place to stay.
Go back to the gas station.
Out of work.
Everybody got everything.
But still doing full-time mom duty.
Hey, Slim. Bye.
She says the lack of consistent transportation has been the biggest barrier to landing a new job.
I'll see y'all later.
And getting her life back on track.
It's been kind of hard.
The thing is, Jackson already owns a car. It's this one. The same blue 2001 Mercedes SUV that Jackson's friend George Floyd was sitting in when police first approached him on 38th in Chicago and Minneapolis on May 25th, 2020. What do you remember about him?
He was a big, funny guy, loving, caring. It was easy to be his friend.
That's why she says she didn't hesitate to let Floyd borrow her car.
Off. And plus, like you said, she loaning her car and she got kids. Mm-hmm. But why would he even ask? And she got kids.
Because that's his young June.
Mm-hmm.
That day, the two used to work security together at the Salvation Army and planned to meet back at Jackson's house in Minneapolis for a Memorial Day barbecue. But of course, Floyd never showed.
I sent a couple of text messages out asking was he okay, what was going on. I never got a response back.
Jackson says it wasn't until the next morning she learned why.
I got my friend banging at my room door or whatever saying the police killed Floyd or whatever. And I'm like, what? It felt like a nightmare.
Put your fucking hands up right now.
In these body camera videos, Floyd's passenger, Maurice Hall, was the first to tell officers the car belonged to someone else.
That's a guy?
Yes.
What's going on with that hairpiece? What's all that?
With the little head wrap you talking about?
Your friend's car, you said?
It's his friend's car. To find that moment, we went back through every second of these body camera videos. We're not going to make you rewatch the worst of it. But check this out. Here's Floyd's passenger again, actually mentioning Sylvia Jackson by name.
That's Sylvia's truck. That's our friend Sylvia, her ex-co-worker.
Jackson says agents with the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension told her they had to keep the car during their investigation. But remember, she wasn't there at the scene that day and has never been accused of a crime. Now, nearly 4 years later, she's still waiting.
Do you feel like they appreciate how much this has affected you?
No.
She don't either, because she wouldn't give her car up if it was important to her.
Right. Well, the investigation been over.
They need to give her car back, though.
Right. The investigation been over with because everybody's been convicted. The cops and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a pass the buck thing. She'll call about the car and say, oh, you got to ask Chuck. Then you try to get in contact with Chuck. It's a run around and voicemail and all that stuff, and you can't get in contact with him. It's that passing the buck stuff they do.
That's how they did
dealing with. They who?
I said, that's how they did me with my gun.
Yeah.
They took my shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to talk to such and such, or call this number and ask for such and such. All this back and forth. And then the last thing was, you need to write a letter to the mayor. I said, okay, they got me.
Yeah.
Each former officer came and went.
And you're gonna talk about that. The next episode, that's gonna be the sole episode. You talking about that story.
No.
Jackson said she chose to stay quiet, even as she struggled to get by.
By Floyd being my friend and everything or whatever, like, I didn't come forth and really say too much when it first happened because I didn't want to feel like I wanted to try to make any money off of him or anything, any type of way like that or whatever, because our friendship was way more than that.
Sitting here with me, this isn't your first choice?
No. I was actually trying to go through what I felt was the proper way and everything.
But the same thing we just said.
Now Jackson says those proper channels have run dry. The last text message she received from a BCA agent in February, I'm still working on it.
If I could get the
same thing we said, and they don't want to deal with that shit.
To sit right here, what would you say?
I would ask them, why is it taking so long with getting my vehicle back in? Why haven't I received it back yet?
What else can you do?
The only thing I could do was reach out to you guys.
Now, we've been asking about Jackson's car all week, and until just a couple of hours ago, the BCA had been citing a, quote, active investigation.
What investigation is over with?
They lied.
The reason
exactly.
For
they told another thing about me. They told me my car was under investigation when they pulled me over with the guns out.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't heard none of it. They was full of shit when they said it's under investigation. It ain't no investigation.
Right.
As evidence. But late this afternoon, the Minnesota Attorney General stepped in. We just received a statement from the press secretary for Keith Ellison that he has authorized that Ms. Jackson's car be released to her. He went on to say, while this is a departure from standard evidence retention processes, we understand the significant burden this presents.
Man,
wait a minute. The case is over.
A departure. That was 4 years ago.
Right. The case is over with. People been tried and convicted already.
Now, it's one thing if they found a fucking murder weapon or drugs in the car. They ain't find nothing in that car.
Right.
So get a car back to her.
Right. The car wasn't involved in a drive-by,
right,
and anything like that. He died on laying on the ground. Her car don't have anything to do with it. Now I'm pretty sure they searching the scene if it was drugs in there or anything like that. If it was nothing in there, they should have gave her car back the next day.
Mm-hmm.
For Miss Jackson. Now, again, Lindsay, this all comes, of course, nearly 4 years after the death of George Floyd. I can tell you, I just got off the phone with Miss Jackson. I can tell you she's relieved that this part of the story, it appears, is finally coming to an end.
After 4 years of this, she is so calm, but I'm just so glad she reached us.
4 years for her, 4 days for us.
And now it's happening.
She's got answers.
I'm glad.
She's an idiot. 3 school-age kids, and you giving your car to George Floyd?
Well, rejoice, ladies and gentlemen. She got her car back. Here's the report on this.
Now a happy follow-up for you to a story we first brought you last week.
The woman who loaned George Floyd her car 4 years ago finally has it back. The state only agreed to return it after investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen started asking questions about why so long.
So, Lindsay, Kevin, you'd better believe we were going to be there when Sylvia Jackson got the call this afternoon to pick that car up. It's a day she told me she thought would never come. Our camera was there at Lloyd's Automotive today as Jackson started up her 2000.
She worked.
She ain't got no job.
She don't have a
no job and nowhere to live.
Right, but she got a Mercedes.
One Mercedes SUV for the first time in nearly 4 years. As we first reported last week, Jackson and George Floyd were friends and former co-workers. Floyd was sitting in Jackson's car when police first made contact with him at 38th and Chicago on that fateful day in May 2020. Jackson was never there, but the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension had been holding her car ever since, still calling it evidence all the way up until we got involved last week and the Attorney General's office ordered investigators to return it. Mechanics told us the vehicle needed at least one new tire and a new battery, which the state confirms it's
The car been sitting there for 4 years. Of course it needed a new battery.
Right?
Paying for. Jackson says she's grateful, but also frustrated it took so long.
Why wouldn't you do the right thing just because it's the right thing? Why does it take all this? Why does it take me have to get in contact with the news station and everything just to get my own property?
That's the only reason why she got that car back, because the news got involved.
It's still a part of the story that we don't know, because George Floyd was sitting here. Then he had fake bills, and then he was on drugs and stuff. This the type of person you give a car to?
Yes.
A Mercedes SUV, when you know you got 3 kids that you need to take to school, you gonna give this guy that's on drugs your car?
He was knocking her off, and like you saying, birds of a feather. Ain't nowhere in the world that he was doing that shit and the fentanyl and all that type of shit, and she wasn't doing anything. She just kind-hearted and sweet. That's why she don't have no. That's why she don't have no place to stay.
She in them streets doing something illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Be back.
As we first told you last week, Jackson had been relying on friends for transportation for her and her 3 daughters. She also told me getting back in that car for the first time today came with a flood of different emotions,
Sure did.
as you might
seeing
imagine.
It does.
And this afternoon, we checked back with the BCA. The spokesperson said they hope this makes things easier for her moving forward.
School runs a lot easier, you know it.
5 investigates show getting results. Thanks.
Yep, counterfeit money and fentanyl. She was into the same shit.
Mm-hmm. She probably gave him the money.
You probably did, yo.
While you go in the store, grab me some.
Mm-hmm. All right, anything on the sports you want to talk about?
You got your boy Shaq and Shannon beefing.
Yeah, Shannon was a little kind of cold, and he talking about it wasn't.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was, because he was like trashing, damn near trashing Shaq. When
he said everything that Shaq admitted to. Shaq said it first about if he would work harder and Kobe being on him, you know what I mean? Shaq said everything that he said. It's not like he was just talking trash. I'm saying what you said.
Mm-hmm. And Shaq was hard on Djokovic too.
And yeah, because even though I thought Joker shouldn't have got it again, because if that's the case, he should get it every year. LeBron should get it every year. Jordan should have got it every year. You can't really do that.
Right.
But Shaq is still salty because Steve Nash won MVP over him. Mm-hmm. And Steve Nash has only averaged 15 points and 11 assists, but he had the top seed.
Right.
Even though he shouldn't have won MVP, Shaq still was the most dominating, putting up like 30 and 15. So he should have won MVP. He's right about that. Shea was averaging 30 points, and they had the first seed. I mean, both teams was tied, but he still had the first seed. So
Right.
he probably should have got the MVP, but it's a coin toss. It's still close.
Yes.
Joker still was like tied for first place in the seed, and he almost damn near got a triple double.
Right. Right. Anything else?
What else? None I can think of.
Yeah, me neither. All right. So
I did. Did you see how they was talking about the Eagles? Our boy LeSean and DeSean shitting on Chip Kelly.
Oh, I watched it. I watched it. Well,
now I just found out yesterday that Chip tried to trade Brandon Graham too, and the owner had to step in and stop that. Damn. So if he made that happen, we wouldn't even got our first championship because Brandon Graham saved the championship for us.
Yep. Well, he should have jumped in with the DeSean thing too. I
And
don't know.
LeSean.
Right. Right.
LeSean
And
got traded for a backup Oregon linebacker with a half-cut shirt.
And then they should have the owner should have jumped in when they put Howie, when he took Howie out the office. Why he's not allowed? They moved his office to another building, and he wasn't allowed to go on a practice field. Why? What's the reason?
Because Chip Kelly wanted control, and Chip Kelly had the control, so Chip Kelly had the big office now. So they put my man in the fucking storage room in another wing of the fucking building.
And
Chip Kelly was trying to fire him. He don't need no GM because I'm running things now on that tip. And Jeffrey Lurie didn't want to fire him. So he said, no, he's staying on board, but you still running the show like on that tip.
Right. And some of these college coaches, they in a mind frame of a college coach. What was the dude name that was in the Florida coach, the Tim Tebow? What's his name? The one that got the job in Jacksonville that kicked the kicker?
With an S. You talking about where did you say he's at? It's not Steve Spurrier.
No, not Steve Spurrier he was Florida too, but he was after. This is the Tebow coach of Florida.
I can't think of his name.
Spurrier was in Florida too. You're right, but I wasn't talking about him. It's the one that kicked the kicker. And the kicker went to the higher ups and they didn't do anything. They got these college coaches. See, they good for college because you can tell the player to shut the fuck up or bring your ass over here and all that stuff.
But they got them by the balls. You know what I mean? They got to follow suit and listen.
Right. Or they'll do some shit, take your scholarship and all that type of bullshit. And he came with that mind frame like he was in college. Like he gonna tell these grown ass players, all pros, pro bowlers, that there's no starters.
No starters on the team. And they all pro.
Right.
Well, how about he told them they had to get 9 hours of sleep. And asking them what time they went to sleep. You got to drink more water. I need to look at your piss. It's too dark.
Right. Yeah, checking their sleep monitoring and their heart monitoring and all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Like that's college kid. That's college people. That's college kid stuff. You can't do that with grown men. If he want to be outside and clubbing till 3 o'clock in the morning, and he come and practice well and play well in games, what the hell am I going to say? Nothing. Yeah, he's an asshole. Racist. Gee, that's kind of hard. I come off that he's like one of those type of shut the fuck up and bring your ass over here college type of guys. What do you think? Is he racist?
Yes.
Okay. Like how
because they said he was scared to talk to him. So he talked to his little minions and tell them, hey, go tell him he got to pull his pants up. Or hey, don't tell him this, that. You the head coach, the GM, you everything. You supposed to put your foot down and tell them what to do.
Right, but people do that at work also. The higher up or get somebody else to tell somebody else what to do. Like about the guy with the hair. Who cares what his hair is like? If he want to wear his hair that way, that's on him. See, that's like college people stuff. Hey man, do your hair, pull your pants up. DeSean Jackson is a grown ass man. If he want to walk around with his pants, his uniform hanging off his ass, that's on him. Long as he produce on the field, he's grown. He's not in college. Now, a college kid, I'd be like, hey, look, man, pull your pants up. I'm not going to no 24, 25-year-old man and telling him he need to pull his pants up. That's on him. Yeah. And they never got into why. I would love to hear Michael Vick. See, they need to have a part 2, because I would love.
Michael Vick was crying.
Yeah, what was he crying about?
Yeah, they never said that. I wish they would have talked about that too.
And what they should do, I'm pretty sure he won't do it. They need to get Riley Cooper on here also.
Well, he said he know him and he's not racist. So if you feel that way, then that's your boy. Then you should be able to bring him on.
Right.
I don't think Riley Cooper racist either, though.
But he used a hard ER. Was he drunk?
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said.
I thought he said something like, "I beat all y'all black asses."
No, he used the N-word. He used the N-word.
Yeah, I don't think Riley Cooper racist.
Yeah, because I wanted to know, like, what the hell was Michael Vick crying about? Well, he cried more on that team with Chip Kelly than he did in jail. Yeah, he ran this team, and oh goodness gracious, that was just such a bad error.
He would have had like at least three championships with that team.
Yep, such a bad. And did I guess this was kind of like in like 10 minutes in. Did he say some shit about McNabb?
Who, DeSean?
Yeah.
He brought up McNabb, but it wasn't negative.
Oh, okay, it kind of sounded like it was negative.
No, it wasn't negative. What did he say? He said something like, we already had veteran leadership on the team, and he kind of mentioned McNabb with those guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anything else sports wise? But yeah, by the way, that was a good podcast. Damn, I forget the name of it. It's like Dear Numbers or something. I forget the name of the podcast. I gave him a shout out. Anything else sports wise?
It's like 25 and 10. Something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I listened to the show to it. I like to hear like the way Eagles talk. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Former players and stuff like that, and they keep it real them too. So.
Right.
Even though McCoy was an asshole.
Why you say that?
You know, remember when he was playing, he was talking about his baby mom and she is a whore and all this stuff all on the internet. He used to be all over the internet talking shit about people and stuff like that. That's some nut bullshit.
Yeah. Oh no, I thought you was talking about on the show.
No. Shit. McCoy, DeSean, he said he was talking about McNabb with the leadership. D-Jax, he talked about the leadership. McCoy did throw a shot at McNabb. He said Andy Reid would have won the championship if he had a better quarterback or if he had a different quarterback, something like that.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Now, the question is, do you believe that?
No,
I didn't believe it neither. Yeah, I knew. I said, like, damn, why he come at McNabb neck like that?
It was like it was like a side diss. It wasn't like a straight on diss. I think he said something like Chip Kelly would have won Andy would have won if we had a different quarterback, or something like that. He said
because he said that they shouldn't have got rid of Andy Reid, and he said that well, you see what he doing in Kansas City, and he said and that's when he brought up the McNabb thing, right. I'm like, well, damn, like everybody hating McNabb all of a sudden.
The thing was, McNabb, they didn't hang out with McNabb, but they hung out with Vic. You know what I mean? Because he was still kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They hung out with a little bit with what's the other dude name? Nick Foles, because he was young and around the age. So when them guys are young like that, they hang out. McNabb was already married, you know what I mean, with kids and a family man. So he's not going to hang out with the young kids like that. So they don't build that type of relationship. It's all business with him.
Right. Yeah, he need to be on there too. Does he he don't have a TV job, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, he need to be him, Vic, Riley Cooper.
They probably can get all the Eagles on the show. You see, my man called in.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So they probably cool with everybody.
The construction worker. He always looked like one of the guys I see walking down the street doing construction.
Jason Peters.
Yeah. Is he still on? He retired or he's still with the Cowboys?
I think he retired. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that hurt my heart when I seen him. He was with the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he was walking in the damn Cowboys uniform.
See, that don't bother me. It's a business. If your team don't want you, what I'm supposed to just sit on my ass? And the team that's my enemy, they want to pay me some millions of dollars to play?
Yeah, he can retire.
No, you can get that money.
Brandon Graham can retire without going to another team.
If he want to play, he just still wanted to play. He didn't want to retire. You can't force him in to retire. If somebody offering you, I don't know, $20 million to play, you gonna go get that money.
Mm-hmm. So, anything else sports wise? All right, then. Well, you can reach the Judgementals on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and subscribe to our YouTube at PNL Judgementals, Instagram at _Judgementals, or you can email us at pnljudgementals@gmail.com. All right, then.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
That's why I stay on the low. Most of y'all is associates, so I be on my dolo. Hold up, walk that whoa, hold the phone. You think all I do is rap? I can do